All right, everybody, welcome back to W.M.S.T. This is our fourth official episode. I am Syed, aka Wrestling Universal on Instagram. Let's introduce you guys to the rest of the crew. Here's Ziggler.
Yo, what up?
Nice. And of course, we got Cam.
Hi.
All right, and Hound.
It's your boy, Hound.
And of course, the man, Shawn.
Of
Father
course.
Suplex.
Love the intro, my boy. Thank you.
You mean the woman, Shawn?
Sounds
Okay,
like
shut
shit.
up. Thank you, Syed, for the nice intro. Very nice.
No problem. All right. And we're actually going to review, we're going to keep continuing our MCU reviews leading up to Endgame. And today we're going to review the first Iron Man movie.
Hell
So,
yeah.
I'm going to go first. And here's my review for Iron Man 1 following everybody else's review. So here it goes.
All right.
So here's Iron Man 1, the movie that started it all. Without this movie, we would not have the MCU we have today, as you guys know. Before I give my thoughts on this movie, guys, by the way, I'll give you guys a little bit of backstory here on the movie. As you guys know, Kevin Feige, the producer of most MCU movies, he and Avi Arad back in the day had a vision to do their own cinematic universe with the characters that Marvel owned at the time, since they didn't have the big ones like Fantastic Four, X-Men, and Wolverine and all that. So
And my boy, Spider-Man.
yeah, of course, that's the big one. So they were like, you know what, we need to for Marvel film studios to actually succeed, we need to start a universe. And they started with what they had, and they needed a big one to start off because this was a big risk back then. So of course they casted, as you guys know, the man who single-handedly has given us one of the best universes and franchises in film history, Robert Downey Jr., who, by the way, grew up in the business actually at a very young age. He was on a film set since the age of 9, as his father was a director actually. And before being casted as Iron Man, he had a trouble with the law and whatnot, and so there was that as casting him at the time. It's kind of crazy to think about it, but at the time when he was casted, it was kind of looked at as a big risk, as he didn't have a lot of A-list work back then. So here it goes. Now they've got their star, big charismatic star, and here goes Iron Man 1. One of the things I really like about this movie is, of course, Jon Favreau's amazing directing and Downey Jr.'s performance that he gave. I think those two combined really lifted, in my opinion, what was, I would say, a pretty average movie, and took it up a notch. I think these two's style really elevated the movie. Of course, Jon Favreau's improvisational style really defined kind of what the other MCU movies started to do, and of course, Downey Jr. Gave a very charismatic performance. Also, one of the other positive things about this movie was Jeff Bridges as Obadiah Stane, a really great early villain in the MCU, which isn't known at early wasn't known for its villain, but Obadiah Stane was a really good one. So this movie was really good, and it had a lot going for it. There isn't really a negative for me personally, but if I was gonna give it a negative, it was probably the third act with the Ironmonger fight, which to me, he never looked that menacing, and the fight honestly could have been completely scrapped. And I think they could have gone out with a different ending. Heck, if they had a boardroom fight with Stark and Obadiah Stane, I think that would have been more interesting than what we got in the third act. But I think overall, this, you can't really deny the importance of this movie. And with that in mind, I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10.
Andrew, I like that.
Yeah, and of course now we're gonna go with Sean since I think he's got this movie very high
Uh,
on his list.
oh yeah. So Iron Man 1 is my second favorite MC movie of all time. Everything about this movie to me is just phenomenal. RDJ is and his availability and his ability to show such emotion and such like stuff in just his facial expressions of such multiples at one when he's in induced coma and where he's trapped by the 10 rings is just phenomenal. He's one of the he's the best fit for Tony Stark there could ever be. Nobody else, when they said Tom Cruise would have been a good Tony Stark, no, he would not. RDJ is literally Tony Stark, and the adding of Jeff Bridges to Obadiah Stane, who is Jeff Bridges is such a phenomenal actor himself, so phenomenal. This movie had an amazing story. It was directed by literally one of the like such a phenomenal actor and director, John Favreau, who's directed such amazing movies in the past. And it was the perfect backbone for the MCU and perfect start. Easily one of the best, easily the best Iron Man out of the three. One of the best single films in the whole MCU, in my opinion. Everything about this movie is just stellar. If there's one thing I would kind of didn't like was that they had to change that they didn't cast Don Cheadle to be Rhodey first, and they had Terrence Howard, who I didn't like. I thought he was kind of like stale and not good. But besides that, everything that it helped lead into this universe is just phenomenal, and this will always be my besides Infinity War and Endgame, like this is my the best one of the best MCU movies ever. It's everything about it. Like I'm just gonna keep saying it because everything about it is amazing. There's no pure explanation to give that how much I love this movie, and the relationship that helps change Stark with the ensign in the cave is so moving, and it helps change him for the future and to the good person he becomes to be. Still, he has his inner demons, but that from that scene where he says, "Don't waste your life," and he helps change Stark into becoming like actually making like stopping his weapons manufacturing and making the Iron Man suit to help for good. Just so perfect. And again, with Jeff Bridges being Obadiah Stane, they couldn't get a better person to play him because like look and because Jeff Bridges, literally one of the such a good actor.
Oh yeah,
Everything
one of the best. Yeah.
one of the best. Like they got every perfect line, to every perfect not every perfect line, every perfect detail of
Yeah.
actors, lines, scripts, and the scripts they were making the day of shooting. They it was so, and that's how good this movie came out to be.
That
And
actually kind of goes back to my point of improvisational
yeah,
directing of Favreau.
completely. And because of the phenomenal directing and acting of everyone, and everything involved in it, it created it's such an amazing movie that will always be in the top of my list. No matter how good Endgame is, Iron Man
Yeah.
1 will always be in the top three.
And
Um,
your rating?
rating, I'm not gonna give it a 10 out of 10 because of the one part I didn't like Terrence Howard. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10.
9.5 out of 10. All right, awesome. All right, Cam, you're up next.
Iron Man was actually the one of the few MCU movies that I haven't really seen up to this point. I actually watched it the other day in preparation for this review, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Love it.
I really like the origin story, the build up, and the change of character for Stark. Also, really like the preparations of the suits, the overall story, even some of the characters. Stark is a great character. I really liked Yinsen. He was actually a really good character until he passed, until he died. Another little funny little quip. Obadiah actually looks like a modern day Triple H and Goldberg mixed.
Who happened to age like 50 years, but
Yes. But Obadiah slash the Ironmonger slash the Tin Can on steroids, as they call it. He's actually a really good villain, a really good early villain. I mean, this is way before your Lokis, your Killmongers, and your Thanoses. He actually did
he's the
quite well.
first.
To see how far the movies and the Star character has come in 10 years is actually quite amazing. The movie may not have the huge complex fighting sequences, chases, and various other things in the MCU's future, but it sets the standard for the huge action sequences and the spectacle that it would have. My rating for it is an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Perfect. All right, Ziggler, you're up next.
Well, like Shawn said, RDJ was fucking born to play Tony Stark. I mean, he's just is that part. He's that part in real life, as we know. I'm not the biggest fan of the character of Tony Stark. Tony Stark, Iron Man, was always like a B-list, C-list character in Marvel, but Robert Downey Jr. with the help of the MCU and Kevin Feige, that they brought fucking Iron Man to an A-list superhero. And that's pretty fucking impressive. And I can't deny the greatness and the fucking shit they had to do for that. Iron Man was a great movie. It's one of the best movies in the MCU right now. But it also created the trend of the villain having the same abilities and or powers as the superhero in MCU movies. So that it kind of bothers me too when the villain is really like the hero. And that's what kind of started the trend with Obadiah Stane, like Tony Stark. They still had the same Iron Man suits and shit, and they fought, and yeah. MCU copied that trend a lot in the movies, so.
Loki and Thor and like Killmonger and T'Challa.
Yeah,
Hulk
exactly.
And Abomination.
Exactly, yeah. So Iron Man started that trend. But it was still a great movie. I'm still not the biggest fan of Tony Stark. I don't really like his personality, but yeah, I'll give this movie a solid. Oh yeah, I also want to say that still my favorite Iron Man suit is from Iron Man 1. That's the best suit.
Which one?
That's
The Tin Can or the
the one with the hot rod red.
Mark 3.
Yeah,
that. Sorry, I don't really know Iron Man that well. I don't like him, but
suitcase suit is the best one.
yeah,
Is what?
that's the best suit. But yeah, I'll give this movie a solid 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. All right, sounds good. And Hound, your review?
I'm not gonna be like all these other people, like low key, like kissing Iron Man's ass.
All
Oh,
these other people, you racist son of a
Other
bitch.
people.
Listen. The movie
Hound, I'm
is-
gonna pull the plug on your life.
And I wasn't kissing his ass. I don't like Tony Stark. The fuck?
I love Tony Stark.
Wait, wasn't kissing his ass,
Listen to my explanation.
All
It's
right,
a good
we're all,
movie.
we're all ears.
It's a good movie. It's enjoyable. Like I just personally don't like it. Like it's just like the character doesn't like grab me as much as others do. Maybe
Preach.
because I had a thing with my cousin back in 2008 when the movie came out when I was like 8 or 7, where like he loved Iron Man and the Hulk, and for some reason I just never liked Iron Man. Maybe it was because he didn't like him. Like I don't know why that movie just doesn't grab me. Like
All right,
I'm
we're
willing
kicking
to
Hound out
watch
of the
it.
podcast.
I'm down to watch it like
Respect
anytime.
opinions.
But like, hold on, and also I feel like the suits have kind of gotten worse. Like,
yeah, I agree with
what?
Hound 100%.
Like,
With everything
Mark
Hound's
50?
saying, I agree with him.
Like Mark 50, it looks great. But it also looks bad at the same time. It looks so.
Yeah, the bleeding edge,
fake.
the bleeding edge CGI is way worse than the original CGI for the
Like
suit.
when
But
Seth,
it's a 10 times better suit.
No, it's not. The
I
design is
also-
not. The design for the original Mark III is great, but Mark 50 bleeding edge, it just looks bad.
I meant in general, it's a better suit because it has all the.
I'm talking about design, not about what it has.
Yeah,
like,
like if it was a comic book, it would be like the best Iron Man suit ever. Like since it's live action and they have to use CGI, it just doesn't it looks really bad. Like
Mark
I was really
85 is
hyped.
still coming, so watch your mouth.
Like I was really hyped for it when there was.
They
set
spent all their
leaks.
CGI on Thanos.
Yeah, like if you saw the set leaks, that suit looked great. The mask, the chest piece looks great. But I just felt like the suits has just been kind of dying down. But Mark II with the silver and the slim down looks great in Iron Man 1. And yeah, that's all I have to say for right now.
Okay, what's your rating
Wait,
overall?
also Pepper Potts.
Okay.
Great.
Oh yeah, very underrated. Yeah. So yeah,
So
what's your overall rating?
My overall rating would be probably a 5.
All right. Sounds
God
good.
damn!
Listen, I gotta
mean,
be honest.
A five is failing, dude. That's like
six-
50%, man.
6 is okay. 5 and below is bad.
I got a lot of 50% in school, dude. I can tell you for firsthand that's failing as hell.
I'm the
Alright,
most
but you know,
generous, my God.
But hey, we keep everybody's opinion.
I was
the
being
same.
generous.
We treat everybody the same, so it's all cool.
I was gonna do like 7.5. I was like, nah, I'll give it an 8.
But your score is locked now. All right.
Yeah, I stand by my 8.
I stand by my 9.
All right,
Stand
and
by
after we get Tyler's review in, we're gonna have the final score at the end of the podcast. All right, so let's move on to our second topic, and I think this topic. So before I start talking about this topic, I just gotta make sure with everybody, we respect each other's opinion, and of course, we all don't like politics or identity politics in our movies, correct?
No.
Yeah, probably true. I guess I don't know.
I have no idea what we're talking about right now, so just continue.
I get you, Syed,
know.
because I'm in the same
I
boat
don't
as
even know
you.
who the president is.
Okay, yeah. So basically, we all agree that we respect each other's opinion and everything, right?
Well, not their opinion is stupid.
Well,
That is their opinion.
even if it's stupid, it's we don't call each other out and stuff.
No,
Like
I
Nick
was just
Fury,
messing with
I
him, but,
heard
like,
your
no, I get
decision, but it's a stupid ass decision, so I choose to ignore it.
All right, that's a good quote. All right. So let me start So this is about Captain Marvel. And this is not much of a rant. It's basically kind of what I've been hearing and listening, and this is my opinion. So, of course, it's about the aforementioned Captain Marvel, which comes out March 8th, and I know some of you like Count are really excited about the movie, but to me, there's like a really big problem with the way obviously this movie has been marketed, and recently I've been looking at some of the comments that Brie Larson has made actually, and I've seen some videos on it on YouTube, and I was like, wow, this is some strong stuff. So he
Oh yeah,
and,
I've heard about this.
yes, so
on
I'm gonna
Twitter,
address this now.
There was
Yeah.
a video where she explained why she said it, I think. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
yeah, but I gotta let
Like,
the viewers know what I'm
Let
talking about.
Syed
I
talk.
don't know the full thing. I don't know what it is.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
so
about to
I'm
explain
gonna-
it, so let
so
him
I
I'm
have no idea what
explain that.
Syed is talking about, so please
Well,
explain.
let him talk.
I
damn
don't
it.
know.
Yeah. So here's one of the quotes I heard Brie Larson said during her press tour for Captain Marvel. So here's what she had to say about Captain Marvel, and I quote, "Captain Marvel is my form of activism. Okay, that's what she said. And another
Manny?
quote. Yes, another quote. So she said, and I quote, "About a year ago, I started paying attention to what my press days looked like and the critics reviewing movies, and noticed it appeared to be overwhelmingly white male." All right,
Yeah, and
here's
that's
another one. Here, listen to me, and I quote, "I don't need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work about A Wrinkle in Time," Larson
Oof.
said. "It wasn't made for him. I want to know what it meant to women of color, biracial women, to teen women of color." To that I say, newsflash, Brie Larson, that movie was not liked by anybody and lost Disney about $200 million in profit.
That is true.
Brie Larson seems to be, to me at least, on a mission during the Captain Marvel press tour to alienate and insult some some fans she wants to the same fans she wants to see go pay to watch her movie. Now I'm not a white male, of course, but that doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and take this form of reverse racism or racism or whatever you want to call it from a Hollywood elitist who tries to push her identity politics like Larson, who single-handedly is making sure the fan base is divided, in my opinion. Captain
Yo, our
Marvel has
podcast is getting too political.
well, I'm not the one getting political. It's Brie Larson that's the one
Oh,
getting
shit.
political.
No, it's beef.
All right, hold on. Now, Captain
Right,
Marvel
right.
has already lost close to $100 million in projection for the opening weekends, and I don't want to see a feminist movie. Personally, as it's not what this specific genre can excel at. People in general go to the comic book or any action or any kind of these spectacle movies to escape reality and go into a world unlike ours with compelling characters and nuanced stories. Captain Marvel to me looks stale, and Brie Larson doesn't look like she's having any fun in that role, and she looks so dull to me. Combine that with the fact that Brie Larson has been arrogant throughout her whole career. Actually, this type of behavior isn't even new
Is this a
to.
quote or is this you talking?
This is me talking.
Oh,
Oh,
If
You're
it's a quote,
ranting. You're
if-
really ranting.
yeah. If
Okay.
it's a quote, I say I quote.
all right.
So yeah, this
Like
type
Michael
of
Cole?
dismissive behavior.
oh shit.
Yeah,
Let's
this
not
type
talk
of
about
dismissive
that.
behavior, insulting the fans, isn't new, and saying a movie is for your female audience only, and the males won't understand the female experience is, to me, very arrogant and kind of baffling as well as to why you would want to divide the fans like this before a release. And before I let you guys get to your opinion, I gotta show you guys some more examples of franchises like Star Wars, Ghostbusters, and if you go on to television,
Oof.
Doctor who of course recently had tried to push a more uh, identity-based agenda, like identity politics agenda, over telling great stories, and they got a very big backlash, of course. And to me, it feels like MCU is kind of headed down the same path. And there's already been, a lot of controversy with all this stuff. And
Oh my god.
one more example before I start letting you guys talk about it. Solo had obviously lost Disney also another $200 million in profits because of the the boycott following what seemed like an identity politics push from Disney. So with that, I want to know what you guys think about my personal feelings on this. And Cam, I really need to know your opinion as well. Ziggler, you can go first.
Oh, I really don't give a fuck what Brie Larson says. I didn't even know she said this shit. I mean,
She did.
I didn't even know because I just don't care about entertainment entertainment news or political news. I just mind my own business and just do my own shit because I just really don't give a fuck. So
Yeah,
but
but
Inspired.
it's
but what she
regarding
said
MCU.
that like wait what did she
Well,
said like
here's the
Captain
thing.
Marvel like isn't like for everybody, it's just for like women or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And the problem with that is, you're catering to a larger
Yeah.
audience that's
Well, you know,
MCU
like
fans.
well, that's the difference between like because like in Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, Gal
Wonder
Gadot, how are you fucking say her name?
Never
Gadot.
got into identity politics. Never did.
Yeah,
She's an amazing
she
person.
even
For
said
everyone.
like yeah, the Wonder Woman's for everyone. It's for boys, girls, women, men, and everyone. It's for everyone. And Gal Gadot was cool. Gal Gadot is dope as fuck. I like her a lot.
True as
Brie
fuck, brother.
Larson,
Uh-huh.
Brie Larson. I seen her like in one movie, maybe two. She's alright. She's a fine actress, I guess.
She's in 21
She does.
Jump Street.
She doesn't look like she's having any fun in the trailers though. She's showing no expression. I find it funny as hell though of what I see online. But in the reviews, I heard she's really good though. I heard
But
in the reviews for Captain
but
Marvel that
so
she's really good.
but so far those are reviews from people Disney specifically chose to watch the movie. So can't take the words of
Are you
Shields
just
right
trying
now.
to say Disney paid them?
Well, Disney paid for them to come out to
Yeah.
LA and watch the movie. That's what I'm saying.
And
Yeah,
so
I'm
what
looking
if
at
they
the article
lose?
right now.
So what if they lose money on Captain Marvel? They're gonna gain like over 2 billion, maybe 3 billion on
True.
Endgame. Like who
And
really cares?
yeah,
Disney
Ton of money
Disney
on
doesn't
Endgame.
lose. Even if you think Disney loses, they're not losing. They're winning, okay? They own everything. They have everything. They have so much money. My god.
yeah, I see what you're saying, and I agree with you. But the only thing is, what happens after Endgame? Because Kevin Feige has been saying Brie
X-Men,
Larson
Fantastic
well,
Four.
hold on. Before that, though, I'm going off of what Kevin Feige has been saying, that Brie Larson and Captain Marvel are the future of the MCU. But if the future is something that divides up the fan base, I don't know if I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, but also Chadwick Boseman is the future. Tom Holland is the future.
Exactly. That's
all these
correct. Yes.
Chadwick
great
Boseman
superheroes.
is dead in Infinity War, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. They're not gonna throw away
Boy.
$1 billion like that. They're gonna make a sequel, but all right.
Yeah. True. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Black Panther and Spider-Man are money-grabbing characters, so trust me,
Exactly.
they're coming
Yes.
back.
All right. We got to get Hound's opinion because I know Hound has some strong opinions on this.
Not really. I mean, I don't really care what she said. I mean, she's trying to say like I shouldn't watch it because I'm a white guy. I don't really care. I'm gonna watch it regardless.
Oh
if,
yeah,
like,
no problem. Yeah, just overall, yeah.
like if freaking Tom Holland was like, yo, you're American. I don't like you. I only like British people because I'm British. Yeah, like, and if he said something like that, like only British people can watch Spider-Man. Like
Tom Holland is a goddamn national treasure. He would never say that.
Like,
Of course he would not.
something like that. Like I wouldn't care.
For
I
the
don't care what
children.
actors say. I just care about the movies and how actors do in the movies.
Agreed. Yeah. All right, and
I feel
Cam,
hyped for it though.
yeah, true. Cam, I know you don't want to be part of the topic, but I know you have some interesting opinions on this. Go ahead.
I mainly wanted out of this topic mainly due to the fact that I don't really care about politics, gossip, or the
Same. Yes.
entertainment news and stuff. Who
Mhm.
cares what Brie Larson says? I'm gonna see the movie regardless. And even
Yeah.
if they lose like $1 billion off of Captain Marvel, they're still gonna be raking in money because of Endgame and whatever other movie that they make.
Yeah.
Marvel
True.
and Disney are gonna win regardless.
Yeah.
Also, they got Star Wars 9, fucking episode 9 in December, so
yeah,
that can bring
true.
in billions of dollars.
Well, hold on. That's
Disney
another
is
topic.
Disney is not losing, dude. They're always winning. So
Yeah, it's just the one. This is just the problem I had was like, why would Disney even let her say things like this? Because I remember, since we're talking Star Wars, I'll bring a Star Wars example in. Uh,
Well, Disney let Tom Holland spoil Avengers: Infinity War, and Mark Ruffalo do
They
too.
don't. They
Well,
didn't
no.
let him.
Well,
They did it
those
by
are spoilers. Hold
accident.
on. Let me
Yeah,
say
Mark
something
Ruffalo
different though.
spoiled the end of
Hold
Infinity
on.
War.
Let me talk about
Let
another
Syed
Mark.
talk, damn it.
Hold on.
Shut up, Shawn.
Let me talk.
Let
Hold
him
on.
talk.
Yeah. So Mark Hamill, right? Remember? I don't know if you guys remember this. This was a very long
Oh yeah,
time ago.
he was
Oh my
ranting on Ryan Johnson how like he didn't want to do like the Luke stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And and Disney was like, "Hey, you gotta, lower that stuff down." And then he did. So I don't know why they can't do the same for Brie Larson. Who knows that? I mean, maybe she doesn't know, or maybe she does. That if you say stuff like this, fans are gonna be put off. They're gonna rebel and stuff like this. So I don't know. And
Well, Mark
yeah,
Hamill just said like he didn't agree with the Luke Skywalker shit that Ryan Johnson wrote. So
and Disney was like, "Hey,
yeah,
give
no,
Brian
he
some
did
more
it
respect."
anyways. Yeah, he
Yeah.
did it anyways without a problem after that. So
Yeah, I mean, if they can do that for Mark Hamill, I'm pretty sure they can do that for Brie Larson. That's for sure.
Mark Hamill is more of a legend than Brie Larson. So
True, and they need to let her know, like she needs to know her place and respect the fans.
he's one of the best Jokers too.
Yeah, but I'm still talking about Brie Larson. Like she needs to respect the fans and know her place. She isn't somebody that is like a Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans that can say stuff like this and get away with. And I mean, of course, those guys have never disparaged the fans like this ever. So, Shawn, go ahead.
All right, so I don't think it was smart for Brie Larson to say that type of stuff for a corporation with with this big of an audience, like how big Marvel draws in like people, that it wasn't that smart to say like I like, just like you guys said, I'm not into politics. I don't like talking about politics like this.
Same.
But but saying that that, like, what was the quote, that she didn't want like white males in the, like,
Yeah, reviewing her movies and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, like a big, like, I don't know, like a big portion, or not a big portion, a portion of the audience is white, white
Right.
males. I'm a Latino male, but I have
No, you're white. You're white.
Okay, shut your fucking ass.
Don't. You're white, dude. Okay.
No.
We're not
That's
getting
okay.
into this fucking shit.
That's
But,
You
okay.
are
Yeah,
not
go ahead.
Latino.
Go ahead,
You
Shawn.
are
Yeah.
white.
Okay,
Be
you
white
gotta
and be
fucking
proud.
cut this shit out. We're trying to do this.
Continue.
It's not smart for a woman, not a woman. Fuck.
Just
Cut
like a
that.
superstar with a
It's
big
not
role
smart
like this.
for a big celebrity, for a big corporation like Marvel, to say that type of stuff, because it affects the fan. It's negative to the fan base. Everyone should be able to go see a movie without having to feel like, oh, she said, oh, I'm a white male, I shouldn't go see this. Like,
Fuck her.
regardless, tons of people are gonna go see it, no matter what. I'm personally barely even hyped for this movie in general. I'm just only hyped to go see
Same.
Endgame.
end, yeah, that, and the end credits, because that leads to Endgame, and whatever potential, like, spoilers, or not spoilers, like Easter eggs it has for Endgame. That's all I care about. I have no literal desire. Like, I'm
Yeah.
still gonna see it. Me and Ziggler
Also,
are seeing it, but like, just no main desire. And that's not because she said, oh, no
Yeah.
white males allowed. Like, no, it's like, I just not interested that much.
also a big chunk of people are not even gonna see or hear what she said because a lot of people don't follow that shit. They're just gonna see the movie anyways, you know?
Right.
Like
Mhm.
like my mom, like she doesn't follow that shit. She just goes to the movies and watch movies. She doesn't give a fuck or doesn't even look.
Yeah, and that's a great point. The general audience doesn't care about that stuff, but it's the kind of stuff that usually bleeds into a movie. Because I know none of us here want to see, wants to to be preached to through a movie. We're just there to watch it and be entertained. I'm not here to be preached and stuff. And I feel like her saying like this movie is her form of activism is just costing the studio like millions of dollars. And even if this movie doesn't make that much profit, that's still money Disney's leaving. That's just free money they're just leaving. So that's just
Bringing
my opinion.
politics into a Marvel movie like this is not smart.
Nah, yeah, not at all. Yeah. So that's my just main concern. And thank you
Didn't
guys
they
for
bring politics
listening
into
to
Black
me.
Panther?
Well, I mean that movie revolved a lot around politics because it was a king and a kingdom, because that makes sense.
Plus, it's a black superhero.
Well, I mean,
Well,
no,
we had Blade before.
not at all.
They didn't count that.
No.
Blade
Again,
is
there
a
was-
black superhero.
So I mean, okay, no, that's the difference between a movie like Black Panther and maybe Captain Marvel. Black Panther was never preachy. It wasn't like, hey, you guys need to, respect this, that. No, it was just showing a world, and it was great acting and great performance. I don't know what Captain Marvel is gonna be, but from the comments I've been hearing, it's just.
I think it's
something
gonna
that-
show a world too, like the Kree people,
Yeah.
That's
it's
different. That's not what we're talking. Like that's okay.
True.
Yeah, for the reviews, it just
Well,
seems
we're
like
not
they're going
talking
full
about Captain
cosmic.
Marvel. We're not talking about
No, we're not
MCU.
talking. That's a fake. That's a fake. Like
Yeah, Wakanda's a fake world too.
it's not.
That's okay. Yeah, but it's just that something I was thinking about, and I needed to like let you guys know and see your opinion. So thanks for letting me share that.
Yeah.
You are welcome, Syed.
Yeah, thank you guys. All right. So, with that, and I would of course love to hear the viewers' opinion on this. So let us know in the comments.
All right,
And with
call us
that-
at 1-800 and we'll get you on the line.
1-800, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. All right.
Give
With
us
that,
your
we'll
money.
move on to our third topic now. We're gonna talk about something that happened recently in WWE regarding NXT Call Ups. Surprise NXT Call Ups, actually.
Hey.
I know we were rolling into, just to give the viewers some context, we were rolling into this week thinking, oh, it's gonna be a regular episode of Raw or SmackDown, whatever. Nope. We get Tommaso Ciampa, Ricochet, Johnny Gargano, and Aleister
Aleister
Black. My God, 4 debuts, big stars from NXT on the same episode, out of nowhere.
That fucking
And-
Raw crowd, man.
Oh my God, we'll get to that, but yeah.
Oof.
So
man.
So Triple H opened the show announcing the appearance from all four, which was very surprising. And I know the crowd didn't really react to them because it wasn't a very hardcore crowd. It was just the kind of crowd that just wanted
They
to see some
announced it
WWE
like
superstars.
4 hours earlier on the app.
Yeah, 4 hours in
Well,
advance.
not really. They showed them backstage, and it wasn't clear if they were going to be used in any capacity, but they
I mean,
Ended
honestly,
up-
they were gonna be used. They would have just teased it.
Right, but it was just on Twitter. Not everybody checks out Twitter, so like everybody wouldn't know that. But I see what you're saying. Yeah, but yeah, it was a very surprising debut for all four. And in my opinion, I feel like Raw handled the debuts very poorly. I don't know. It's just something felt very off about the debuts on Raw. Maybe it was the crowd. Maybe it was how, especially Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa were all of a sudden just tagging. Now I've seen some episodes.
That was for me.
Yeah, I've seen some episodes of NXT and of course the takeovers with them fighting, and it was kind of weird to me how they were just tagging with each other. And the first time I saw them in a while was the halftime show. Back
Well,
in
they
early
took care
February.
of all of that at a few nights ago, the NXT tapings.
We're not
Spoilers.
supposed to mention
Oh, no.
those.
No taping.
That's why I
spoilers.
wish
Edit that out.
NXT. That's why I wish NXT was live, dude.
Yes,
Jesus,
I
you gotta
hate-
edit so
I
much.
hate taping.
Respect the viewers. No spoilers for NXT.
Yeah, no spoilers. Oh yeah, NXT on
filled with
Wednesday. Velveteen
spoilers.
Dream won the North American title.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a spoiler.
That's
Well, not
well,
really.
that's not a spoiler. That happened
That's
like
actually
last
not
week.
Yeah,
a spoiler.
It's cool.
It
cool.
aired on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, never
Well, it
mind.
was
Yeah,
Well,
taped
so that's
on
cool.
They also filmed a version with Johnny winning the title.
Yeah, I know. Okay,
No, that
off
was
They
topic.
just
did?
them
All
to
right,
getting the
let's
title
go.
back just so they could
Yeah, I
have
see
it
what you're
on
saying, but
TV.
yeah, but of course, then they ended up making, and of course, this was another thing that really drove me crazy. Aleister Black had like I don't know, like a 10-minute match with Elias, which made no sense as to why they would do that to him. Like, I would think maybe you want to bring him up to the main roster and then, showcase him as this strong force, as this, like, upstart. But I don't know why they ended up putting him in that kind of match. And I
I
think
think they should
Ricochet,
have put him against Dean Ambrose.
right, they could have, he
Rather
could
Would
have
you
than
rather have
dominated
him
him.
face the jobber?
Or,
Dean
yeah,
Ambrose
Ambrose
is
is
not
not
a
a job.
jobber. Dean
Well,
Ambrose is a former WWE champion. That would have been a big win for Aleister Black.
yeah,
Was
that's
one of the
correct.
biggest names in the
That would
company.
have been a big win for him.
It kind of
But
seems like they're teasing the whole like Drew Braun and the other
That's
team
not what we're
with
talking
the
about now.
oh
Shield.
no, NXT wrestlers right now. So yeah.
Also, I
But yeah,
didn't like their debuts. I like surprise debuts. I don't
true.
like how they just announce it.
Yeah,
But
or maybe just
apparently it was last minute.
Like the best debuts are surprise. Like Chris Jericho debuting on Raw with The Rock. That was one of the best.
Apparently the call-ups were really by last minute because
very last minute. Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
actually
what-
Well,
another
you
thing I
still
was
don't
gonna
have
get
to
into.
announce it. So what
Yeah,
is last minute? You don't have to
they
announce
could have.
it.
WWE is trying to get the ratings up when SmackDown moves stuff off.
Yeah, it
They need to
matters
get
more about
the
ratings
Yeah.
highest
more than
ratings
surprise
as
things.
possible.
Yeah,
So
I was
they're
actually
just trying
gonna.
to throw everything at the wall
Yeah,
right now.
so I was actually gonna get into that. That was another thing. Before Raw, Vince McMahon was like, "All right, get me four of the best NXT superstars," and the rumors are saying that that's exactly what happened. Some guy, some right hand Vince McMahon guy was like, "Hey, these are four of the best they got." Vince like,
Matt
bring
Bloom.
them up. And yeah, I think it was him or maybe it was somebody else, but Triple H was really surprised and he did not like that. So that was a rift in the backstage area with
I'm
that. So,
surprised that they didn't call up Cassius Ono because he's the best.
well,
But Triple
here's
H
the
was
thing.
the one to announce it though, but he didn't like it. That's weird.
Yeah, he didn't like it because that was just part of the script. But like when he went to Raw, they told him the NXT call-ups are coming, and he was like, "What?" All of a sudden.
But are
So
they like
that took
called
him by
up for
surprise.
good, or was that just like
Yeah,
cameos?
they're called up for good, but
No,
they're still doing NXT.
I think
But Ciampa is NXT champion now.
Yes, they're
yeah
still.
they're gonna do all three brands because
Yeah.
Vince needs those guys on the main roster right now.
They're
But I think
floating.
overall, before I get to you guys,
Interesting.
overall though, I thought SmackDown did a better job introducing the guys. Alistair
Yeah,
had a very good
definitely.
match with Andrade.
I don't like how Andrade lost, so he's in a feud with Mysterio and needs all the momentum. I don't like
True,
how he
but
lost.
at the same time, it's one of those things like you can't make both guys lose. So it's like, okay, just give one of them a really good win, and they did that. So I'm okay with that to a degree.
I'm fine with
Uh,
it.
Ricochet also had a good match with Eric Young. Hello to Sanity appearing after so many years.
They're not
Years?
Feels like years.
Yay.
Feels like years to me.
Nah, that's
Yeah,
months.
true.
Yeah. And of course, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa had a very good match, even better than their match with Revival against the Bar. Man, that match was really good. I think that showcased them even better than the Raw match.
Yo,
I think
did Ciampa fuck up his knee though?
I think
Oh,
that was
He
a
actually
planned.
messed up his knee.
In my opinion, it was
No, that
a
looked pretty
planned
botched
spot.
because you saw his
No,
leg
it
go
did
back
not
like
look
that,
No,
planned.
no,
dude.
it was an
That was
injury scare, but
brutal.
nothing happened.
Yeah, but he was okay after
So
that.
nothing's
he,
torn, nothing's wrong.
Like Sheamus also has.
Oh yeah, he did NXT tapings the next night. Duh, never mind. He's good.
Yeah, exactly. So he
Oh.
was okay. He was completely fine. But yeah, I think SmackDown handled it better overall. But I want to get your guys' take. Like, do you guys think that bringing them up now was okay, or do you guys think it was a big mistake? Cam, will go with you first.
Them bringing them in was kind of a pleasant surprise, but I just hope it isn't permanent. Like I know you need to bring the ratings up because it's Mania season. You're trying to get big things, and trying to get lost viewers back. But I don't know if this is like the way to do it. I mean, because you have so many interesting things right now, like the rise of Becky Lynch, Kofi Kingston in the title picture. Kind of not interesting, but it's something. Seth Rollins trying to dethrone Lesnar. But I don't know why they're just bringing them. I don't know why bringing them in right now.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And Hound, what's your take? Hound, is Hound there?
Oh, sorry.
Earth
I think it's
Hound.
like it was
There he
great,
is.
like a one-time appearance. Like I thought they were way better on SmackDown. It still feels weird to see them in like a huge arena, like especially for like Aleister Black. Like I think Aleister should definitely stay, and then Johnny and Ciampa should like go back, stay in NXT, finish the feud, then go back up to like SmackDown or whatever.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Finish up that big program and then give it a good send off.
Wait, was there only three again? Wait, who's the other one? I
Ricochet.
forgot.
Ricochet
Oh
was
yeah,
the fourth.
Ricochet. Yeah, he should probably come up by now. Even though I would like him to see
Yeah.
him as NXT champion, but I think he should just like stay maybe on Raw or like or SmackDown with like Rey Mysterio and Andrade. Oh yes,
Yeah.
baby.
He looked very much in the perfect place when he was on Raw and SmackDown. I agree with that. Yeah.
I hated how they treated DIY versus the Revival. Like that match should be treated like a main event, like how it was at the both takeovers, where they
Those
treated
weren't the
it like
main
a live
events.
event
Those
match.
weren't main events.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I think he's trying to say like big NXT matchups on
yeah,
pay per
like
views.
every takeover match is like a main event because all the matches are like the best.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
like on Raw, it's just like kind of eh. It didn't really feel important. And it was so weird seeing like DIY back together, like being faces. Like it just seems like that past year didn't even happen.
yeah, maybe like I see what you're saying. Like maybe like vignettes and stuff. Like a more traditional call ups would have been more hyped. But yeah, this is what we got. And Shawn, your take?
Well, I know that since Seth is injured right now, they are kind of like, as the rumors have it, just rumors. Like I'm not gonna say it's the truth because it probably is, but we don't know that that the whole segment for Raw was gonna be based around Seth, and since he's still injured and they want to keep him good for WrestleMania, they Vince basically panicked and phoned up Matt Bloom, said, "I need four of your best guys." So they brought him out just to bring more, bring some more into the new
Main
into the
event picture
product right now.
on Raw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and into the product in general because right now, like Elimination Chamber was pretty like stale besides the men's match. Like when they had Corbin and Strowman, like, and apparently they expected, oh, it's gonna be such a good match, but literally I could not give two shits
It
about it.
was trash.
But they're trying to add a new flair, and I mean at least they're bringing some people up. I'm pretty surprised that they brought Ciampa and that Ciampa
Gargano.
who was Ciampa and Gargano who were both like champions at the time. I'm not surprised that they brought Alistair and Ricochet because I thought they would be coming up soon anyway. I was expecting if they were gonna bring people up, it would be Undisputed Era or something, who should be getting called up soon.
Undisputed, and
But
probably Shayna eventually.
Shayna
yeah,
for the women's division. Yeah.
yeah, but I think it was just obviously the way it was displayed on Raw was really crappy with the shit crowd. But at least now we have a fresher side of the product where we have new faces, not really new, but just to the brand new.
To the main roster audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Ricochet, we have DIY, and we have
Aleister Black. Yeah.
who is we haven't we've it's their first time on Raw and SmackDown, and right now apparently they're floating through brands until
The brand split, I think. Yeah.
yeah, until the superstar shakeup.
Yeah.
So
Superstar shakeup.
then they can
Yet
get
there
a
are There's a ton of other wrestlers that they brought up, like Heavy Machinery, Nikki Cross, Lacey Evans. They're still floating.
All of
Meanwhile,
them.
Lars Sullivan hasn't
Yeah.
debuted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lars Sullivan is still like
That's
having a panic attack, I think. But like,
He's
yeah.
still in hiding.
Yeah, it's
Um,
unfortunate, but we'll see what happens with him. Hopefully everything is okay with him. And Ziggler,
Yeah.
did you get everything in that you wanted to?
No. I love NXT Call Ups. I didn't like these ones though. I didn't like the fact that I like that Ricochet and Aleister Black are on the main roster now. I guess I hope they are. I don't like the fact that Gargano and Ciampa. I still want them to be in NXT, and I think NXT will be good without Ricochet and Aleister Black. And Aleister Black has done his part. He's been there for 2 years now. Well, same with Ciampa and Gargano. They've been there for a long time, but I think their home is NXT, and I think they're really good at NXT. So I don't want them to leave, to be honest. That's kind of just me not wanting them to leave because I'd like them there. But
okay.
well, fuck you, Shawn. But yeah. That's all I had to say. I didn't really like the call-ups.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with these call-ups in the coming weeks, but it should be interesting. With that, let's move on to our subtopic following this topic. We're going to talk Kofi Kingston, hashtag KofiMania. That's been storming up Twitter recently. Of course, Kofi Kingston was the replacement for Mustafa Ali in the Elimination Chamber, who was injured a week before the Chamber. And man,
Unfortunate.
this is a subs. Well, yeah, about the Mustafa thing, yeah, very unfortunate, but good for Kofi Kingston. I think this was they caught a lightning in the bottle. Like this is crazy because it's one of those things that just naturally happens. And in that gauntlet match, of course, he became an overnight star all over again with that match, basically reminding everybody how good he is outside of the tag team scene. Also, he pinned, I believe, Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan, and Jeff Hardy in that match, so made him instantly credible. And of course, had that great performance in the Elimination Chamber.
No, I think Randy Orton pinned Jeff Hardy.
No, he did not.
He
AJ
pinned
Styles
AJ Styles.
to win.
Oh, okay, yeah.
With the RKO.
Brian pins Jeff.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, but yeah, in the Elimination Chamber though, he had such a great performance. Everybody in the crowd was so into it. Everybody at home was
I thought he was
going
gonna win for a second.
Oh yeah, it was looking like he was gonna win, but it was so close. It was one of those things. It's like it's so close.
Yeah.
You can taste it. You know, like you can taste
After he
Kofi.
kicked out of that running knee the first time, I was like, holy shit, this
Yeah,
might do
he's
it.
gonna win. He's gonna win. Yeah, but of course, he pinned Daniel Bryan again this past SmackDown, and he's gonna receive a WWE Championship match.
Yeah, he pinned him twice in 2 weeks.
True, and of course they got him into one-on-one match at Fastlane. Now, personally, I would love to see the story culminate at Fastlane. Even though it's a very irrelevant show, I would love to see Kofi win there. Even though it's very unrealistic, I would love to see that. But it's just one of those things like that just naturally progressed. Even because this wasn't something the writers wrote like, okay, we're gonna script this guy to win. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. It just happened naturally. The crowd is behind this, and the management is almost getting behind it. I think they just were kind of surprised like how KofiMania is just going crazy. But yeah, personally, I love this whole thing. It's very great for Kofi, somebody who's been here for 11 years. And so I want to get your guys' take. Shawn, go ahead.
Well, I think I know that originally the plan was for Mustafa to be in Kofi's position in the gauntlet match. Like they were planning on having him like outlast everyone. So because he's out and they decided to give Kofi a chance, it just reminded everyone how awesome Kofi is. I mean, this might be a not unpopular opinion, but I'm completely sick of New Day, and because I think Kofi's better as a singles anyway. He's one of my favorites. I met him actually, one of the second wrestler I've ever met. Nicest guy ever. Such an incredible talent. It's good, and I'm so happy he's finally being pushed to where he deserves. But I think it's that there's no way that I think he's going to win at Fastlane. I don't think they're going to have one of the top guys, Daniel Bryan, lose WWE Championship a month before WrestleMania, and be put into something else or be in the rematch. I think Daniel's walking into WrestleMania. Highly doubt he's facing Kofi, because there are heavy rumors that he's facing Kevin Owens, which I'm very happy about. We'll get to another time. And but they if the book it like smart, it would have to if they should do this match Fastlane, which are Kofi comes really close, doesn't win, maybe a potential New Day accidental interference leading to a breakup, who knows, but then have later in the year him come back and still be over with the crowd and then finally win the title. It shouldn't be this soon, even though I want it to be. It's got to have more progression, more build to make it even greater moment. He like after all this time striving, boom, finally, like no pun intended, boom, but like finally he takes the strap after months and months of finally getting the opportunities he deserved, and then takes it from maybe Bryan or Owens or whoever has the
So like Sami Zayn in NXT.
what?
Yes, that.
He's talking
So
about
what-
the same storyline.
Yeah,
Oh,
with
yeah.
Sami Zayn in NXT. He was coming this
Yeah.
close with Neville and never get it, and then he finally got it.
Exactly. Never.
Pretty much that.
That the
That was a great storyline.
yeah.
2014, I think.
Yeah. Well, 'cause
Maybe
that's when Owens
2015?
debuted.
Yeah, 14.
They,
Yes.
it's not bad to. It's not really recycling the story. I mean, he could once whatever happens at WrestleMania, Kofi could be the next challenger after if Daniel loses, then after Daniel gets his rematches and then he's finally out of the picture, Kofi could be the next challenger. Have like if Owens is the
Maybe a
one that
moment at
decides-
SummerSlam, maybe, or maybe by something like that.
at SummerSlam would be perfect because it's the second biggest favorite of the year. And so whoever's the champion by then, whether it's Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, hopefully, Owens and Kofi Kingston would be an amazing match anyway. And having Kofi finally get the win as a singles competitor, takes the WWE title, which he deserved for so long, would be a perfect. It's just too soon right now. It shouldn't happen right now. It has to. If they're gonna do it by SummerSlam. By WrestleMania, they're not gonna have Daniel Bryan not be champion or have another match with Kofi at Mania. They're gonna have something new. They're gonna have something fresh, probably. They're not gonna repeat the same thing. I highly doubt it.
Yeah,
If they do,
I
if they
see
do,
what you're
like
saying, yeah.
Mazel Tov, like good. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
If they and then if they have Kofi win, all right, we were wrong.
Yeah,
Some
we're wrong and
fucking
we're all
congrats.
happy, yeah.
Yeah, but if they don't, I'm not surprised, and I would be perfectly fine with what happens next, where Kevin Owens wins the WWE Championship. That's it.
Yeah. And Cam, your take?
Who would have thought that a last-minute replacement would have become an overnight sensation?
True.
I'm really glad that Kingston is getting this opportunity because sometimes mid-card wrestlers that have been in there for so long don't really get these opportunities often. But when they do, they prove that they can actually be a legit main event contender. They can be huge. But
Yeah.
while I'm happy and pulling for Kofi to finally get this chance to be a
Same.
champion, there's that small bit of doubt. Yeah, he's not winning, especially at a B pay-per-view like Fastlane, and especially like a month before the biggest show of the year. They might revisit this storyline again. They might give him the Money in the Bank briefcase, but I'm glad that he's in this position right now.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
that's something the guys. That's all they can ask for, just a chance at the title. Something like that. I see what you're saying. Yeah, go ahead.
Meanwhile, for Mustafa Ali, this was originally supposed to be his position. He would have been in the chamber. He would have gotten the title shot at Fastlane. But not a lot of people would actually care that much about it. With Kofi, it's gotten just about all the fans clamoring for him to actually get the title. But for Mustafa, he'll probably get this opportunity again. Maybe they'll give him the briefcase as like a consolation prize. It's like, this would have been your position. Chamber would have been your position, but hey, let's give you this just for waiting.
And I think he's young enough to warrant more opportunities down the line as he keeps improving also. So yeah. I completely agree with you. Like, he can definitely has he has more years ahead of him, even more than Kofi. So I see what you're saying. Yeah. And yeah, go ahead, Ziggler.
Yeah. Kofi. When I started watching wrestling, that's when Kofi got into WWE, and he was instantly one of my favorites, and he has been one of my favorites for a long time now. And it's great to see him getting a WWE title shot after all these years and getting a push. I think the time for him to be WWE champion was at Elimination Chamber. That was the time to, as a Hound would say, pull the plug on it. And I just think that was the time. I thought it was going to happen for like a split second, but unfortunately it wasn't. It would have been perfect. It's Black History Month, first full black champion. But I guess not. And I don't think he's going to win at Fastlane. But we don't really know who Daniel Bryan's opponent is going to be at WrestleMania. I mean, it could be Kofi again, Maybe Eric Rowan would cost Kofi the match, and he'll get maybe another match at WrestleMania, like with a stipulation or whatever. We don't know. We have no idea what Daniel Bryan's WrestleMania opponent is going to be. So I just hope Kofi. Okay, maybe that's a possibility, but I just hope Kofi Kingston wins the WWE title sometime in the next few months.
SummerSlam, bro.
That's like 5 months away. I can't wait that long.
We waited 11 years, 5 months.
I can't be patient, goddammit. They weren't patient with Finn Balor. They just give him the fucking title.
You gotta see Kevin Owens win the title first.
I want to see Kofi Kingston win the title first. He's been there for 11 goddamn years. He deserves it more.
Kevin Owens for 15 years on the independent.
Kevin Owens already won the Universal title, okay? He already won a world champion. Kofi Kingston has not. He's only held minor singles and tag team titles. He needs a goddamn world title. He deserves it. Yeah, minor. United States Intercontinental Championship, dude.
That's what a singles title is, dumbass.
I know. Also, a singles title is the World Heavyweight Championship. That's a single title too. Right. That's a major title. These are minor
Kevin
titles.
Owens Kofi Kingston. He's winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 35.
He might face Daniel Bryan, but he might not win either. He's also probably gonna come back to the babyface.
Watch him now.
We gotta get to Hound first. All right, Hound, go ahead.
Unmute yourself, Hound.
Yeah, so like when I started watching wrestling, Kofi was like one of those guys along with Rey Mysterio and Randy. So like I was really hyped for him to win like the timeline shape of like I just knew it wasn't gonna happen, and I just know it's not gonna happen at Fastlane either. But like I feel like WWE could pull like a twist, have Kofi win at Fastlane, and then have like Daniel just win it again on SmackDown, so they could just like be like, "Hey, Daniel's like a 4-time champ. Kofi still got it. Are you happy now?" I can kind of see that happening. Huh?
He's gonna be a 6-time champ, not a 4-time champ.
Well, yeah, he would. Yeah, he's won the
title. Oh, you with specifics.
Let's not get the specifics, but like, I really do love Kofi. He's one of my favorites since I started watching, and I really feel like it was like time to like pull the plug on Elimination Chamber. Like I feel like it could happen at SummerSlam. maybe money to make, maybe not even at all. Who really knows?
Let's hope not. Let's hope he does win the title. I feel like that's what this storyline should lead to. Hopefully.
He'll win
Best
after
case
Kevin.
scenario, it's a triple threat at Mania. Kevin, Daniel, Kofi.
And Kevin wins.
They won't do two triple threats in one night.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, the Becky thing.
Kevin's
still
winning.
think that
Sorry,
idea.
I forgot to tell you. Kevin Owens is winning.
Becky versus Ronda it's not gonna be a triple threat. It's gonna be a singles match. I still have faith. God damn it.
All right, let's
Me
see
too.
how that goes down. All right, with
Yeah,
that,
you have to believe.
I like that. All right, so with that, we'll move on to our third topic. So we're gonna talk about NBA playoffs now, because the All-Star game happened last week, and like Cam predicted, Team LeBron won. Congrats, Cam.
Yay.
And I think Tyler was the one also who predicted Team LeBron winning, and I was the only one who was like, "Hey, Team Giannis is gonna win." Of course, they didn't. They got blown out. But yeah, but after this though, now there's I think for each team it's about 25 games left, and the playoff push is beginning, and the top of the East. Let me pull up the standings here real quick. But the top of the East, we have the Bucks, the Toronto Raptors. Who else? We have the 76ers and the Boston Celtics and Indiana Pacers still in the mix for the top 5 in the East. And when it comes to the West, we got the regulars: Golden State Warriors, Denver Nuggets, Oklahoma City Thunder, Portland Trailblazers, and the Rockets, of course. So, Cam, in your opinion, which team do you think is for both East and West is in running to reach the conference finals?
Bucks and Raptors for East, and Warriors, and maybe the Nuggets. I mean, it's
Yeah,
all irrelevant. Besides, the Warriors are just gonna win again.
yeah, I see what you're saying, and it's one of those things where like the Warriors are on top still when it comes to the Western Conference, but at the same time, you have teams like Denver Nuggets, OKC, and Portland. We've seen these teams give trouble to the reigning champs, and sometimes they're off their game. But those are games are like once in a while. So the real question is, can one of these teams actually go head to head with the Warriors 4 games and beat them? Like win 4 games against a team like this. I highly doubt it, but it's one of those things where I've seen teams exploit the Warriors when it comes to their sets. Sometimes they ignore a guy on defense and they just double team one of their major all-stars. It's worked sometimes, but I don't know if that's the kind of strategy that's going to work for a 7-game series. What do you think, Cam?
It should be fascinating. Meanwhile, I actually have a past point to bring up. I'm kind of waiting on the day that the Warriors actually have an instance where it's like 2004 finals was Pistons and the Lakers, and the Pistons pretty much shocked the world and beat the Lakers to win their title. I'm kind of waiting on a moment like that to happen again. But then again, there was Cavs Warriors, the second one.
Oh yeah, true. I see what you're saying. And yeah,
Like,
we
what's
can
gonna be
only hope.
the
Yeah, we
one
can only hope
team
for a
to
Cinderella story like that.
like what's gonna be the one team to actually hang on and actually shock the world and do it again?
Oh yeah, true.
Is
And
NBA scripted?
wait, what? Nah,
No, that's the
man.
NFL that's scripted.
And nah, man, uh, it's spontaneous. It's all winner take all. It's no scripts. Just it's just sports.
By the way, did you hear about the Patriots owner? I heard he's in another reboot of Deflategate.
Oh my god. Well, that's a very sensitive topic. Well, not really sensitive. It's just we don't know that many details. But he was caught doing something illegal, so we're not sure yet.
Like I'm
So
just
when
Let's
we
waiting
go
get
on it
the
though.
Patriots.
when we get the details next week, maybe I'll bring it up, but not sure about that one yet. But wait, Cam, what did you say for the Eastern Conference um, conference finals? Was it?
Bucks and Raptors, the both of
Oh,
them.
Bucks and Raptors. Yeah, they had Raptors had the close win against Spurs today. That was a really close game. And Bucks also recently won a close game against Celtics. So yeah, I could see these two facing off in the conference finals, and I feel like Philadelphia is a huge dark horse to reach the conference finals if the Raptors don't choke. Of course, that's the case. We know
Don't worry,
from
LeBron's not in the Eastern
yeah,
Conference anymore. They don't
true.
have the
So
Cavs to beat them again, so they can
it'll
actually get
be
far this time.
yeah, it'll be a shame if they don't even get to a conference finals the year LeBron is not even in the East. So we'll see, man. I mean, we can be in an instance where that's actually. Thank you for bringing that up, Cam. I was gonna talk about. I was not gonna talk about. I almost forgot about it. But LeBron James might not make the playoffs this year, which is crazy. That's gonna be the
Space
first.
Jam 2.
Yeah, we'll bring that up someday too. But
It's
LeBron's.
happening.
Oh yeah,
Oh, boy.
yeah, yeah.
Yay!
They
He's
gotta
in the
release it.
movie, LeBron James.
Oh yeah, true.
There's an actual release date. This
Yeah,
isn't
hold
like a
on. We're
weird
talking about the
thing.
playoffs
It's
right now.
just
We'll get to maybe Space Jam next week. Don't worry about it. Uh, but yeah, the Lakers are currently 29 and 29. So Cam, do you think they can potentially make the playoffs? Or, well, I mean, of course, there's always a chance with LeBron on. But what do you think?
they might make it. That is if they keep playing hard and actually keep winning. But if they don't, then this will probably be the first time in a long time
Yeah,
that
since
LeBron won't make the
LeBron's
playoffs.
rookie year,
Since his first infant years with the Cavs.
right? I think first year or second year, I think he didn't make the playoffs, but he's been in the play. He's been a fixture in the playoff for like more than 13, 14 years. So it's gonna be crazy to see him not in the playoffs this year. But
And in his first year with the Lakers, no less.
oh yeah, true. And thanks to Hound for bringing that topic up. That's Space Jam. I feel like is pretty much the reason LeBron is in LA. And it's like, hey, now I gotta be like, hey, Lakers, come on, get me to the playoffs, so I can film my movie and be in the playoffs at the same time. Grow my brand, but not hurt it at the same time.
Like, make me get over. Help me out.
Help me.
Help
Yeah,
me.
true. Yeah, and with that, the third topic, the subtopic to this topic I wanted to talk about was the biggest contract in all of sports history was handed very recently to MLB's Manny Machado, who signed I don't maybe some of you guys want to chime in too, $300 million contract for 10 years.
Nutty?
Yes, it's true. He was a big time free agent and he was looking to sign with some other teams, but he ended up signing with, I believe, let me
I'm
get this
looking at it right
correct.
now. It's the Padres, San Diego. I
San
expect that
Diego
for the
Padres, right.
Yankees or the Red Sox.
Yeah, it's crazy because he was looking at a contract because the people were saying he's going to sign a big time contract. It was going to be close to like $285 million with the White Sox, but the Padres came in and were like, hey, here's a $300 million contract over 10 years with a fifth year a buyout option, which means like he can opt out and get out. And he signed right away. He was like, I'm set for life. 10 years, 300 million.
That's a lot of cheese.
That's a lot of cheese. It's the biggest contract in all of sports, actually. So I want to just bring that up, like about how crazy competitive the sports industry is getting when it comes to signing these kind of big free agents and for so much money. Like the owners are just throwing money at, and the league is of course setting the caps even higher so the leagues can hire the players at a higher price. So yeah, what do you think, Cam?
It's nuts just to see how huge of a contract that is, and especially from like a moderately small team, like moderately not really all that big, like Yankees or Red Sox team like the Padres. $300 million. I don't know what I would do with that much money. But I'm looking at an article right now on Yahoo that says it's comparing to the ranking it among sports richest deals. It's number 3 among it. Number 2 is a 13-year, $325 million contract. And number 1 is Canelo Alvarez for a 5-year, $365 million contract. Alvarez is a boxer, by the way.
Oh yeah, so boxing, that gets into a whole different business. But yes, even sports league, I feel like NBA and NFL, they're trying to raise the cap, make the players more satisfied. And yeah, the contracts nowadays are just crazy. The kind of numbers we collectively might not ever see.
How
we're
good
cheap, we're probably cheap motherfuckers.
Get that much money, like seriously.
Well, I mean, the teams and league wants to pay them, and they're like, all right, let's open up the checkbook, if you want my services.
That's crazy.
Let's see how many zeros you can get.
Yeah, the most zeros, I'll play for him. Yeah. So with that, that concludes our episode. I know it was a big one for everybody that listened to it all the way through the end. Thank you very much. Thank you for bearing with us. And with that, W.M.S.T is out.
I hope you all had foods and drinks.
I'm starting
yes.
a petition. I'm starting a petition so I can talk about UFC on here. God damn it.
No,
Yeah.
fuck you.
We'll get to
UFC
it
is important. MMA is an important sport. God damn it.